When I was about 13 years old, my family and I took a road trip vacation across the East Coast, starting from New Jersey and driving all the way down to South Carolina. I don't remember the itinerary, but what I do remember was when we got to the border between North and South Carolina, we stopped at a rest stop called South of the Border. All it really had was a motor inn, a Mexican restaurant that we stopped at, and a fireworks shop across the street. I don't know why I remember this place so fondly, but this was the location that popped into my head when I started playing Road 96. This game is pretty much a road trip of its own, with the different areas and people that you meet as you progress through the game. This game takes place in the fictional country of Petra, where much of the land is barren wastelands filled with highways and rest stops, with a large imposing wall on the northern border preventing runaways from crossing. You play as multiple teens throughout 7 episodes, and your objective is simply to get across the wall. Problem is, the Petrian government is capturing anyone attempting to cross and imprisoning them in labor camps. During your adventure, you'll meet with 7 different characters, ranging from workaholics to crazy murderous psychos. The beauty of the game comes from the characters, as well as a unique feature in story-driven games. Every playthrough is randomized, from the people that you'll meet to the locations that you'll visit. The gameplay comes down to your ability to get through these random events. For example, in one part of my playthrough, I was on a bus with a couple of people. In front of me was a police officer and a teenager that's about to be taken into custody. The teenager whispers over to me asking for help, so I decide to try and help the teen by antagonizing the police officer and try to convince her to not bring the kid in, since she hasn't reported the arrest yet. Everything was going smoothly, even getting the other passengers on board with what I was trying to do, until...
Whoa, take it easy!
Now she's waving a gun around, and I could either try and defuse the situation, or I could keep ragging on her. And the thing is, as I escalated to this point, I had no idea what could happen. Would filling the bar up stress her out so much that she could end up shooting me, ending the episode right there? Or would it get her to comply with our demands and let the kid go? It's this uncertainty of what could happen that gets me excited every time I get to a new location in this game. However, not every scenario you run into is going to be this intense, as there are some moments of calm to be seen through the game. In one playthrough I'd stumble upon was this trucker who looked incredibly drunk. After racing him up a mountain, he challenged me to a game of soccer, just to see if I can break those impenetrable goalie skills he keeps bragging about. After the game though, we just sit down and talk, where he starts going on about the state of the country, and then he starts talking about his wife that's been long dead, and this new woman that he's fallen deeply in love with, and he just listened to him talk over the beautiful desert scenery. This moment was a nice touch of levity within this hectic story of trying to cross the border, and I think that's the primary strength of Road 96. When I meet one of these characters, I get invested in their personal lives, their motivations, and how I can help them through something, whether how small or bizarre it may be. On another playthrough, I got to a level that wasn't anything I'd seen before. The level was called More Than Words, and upon taking a quick glimpse around, I noticed that my only way forward was through this tunnel. So as I approach the entrance, the light behind me gets dimmer, and I become surrounded in darkness, until I discover a car with its lights on, and seeing the people in the trunk disappear. It got me on edge for a second, cause up to this point, I was running into one of the 7 characters of the game. But as I walked through this door, I knew this definitely didn't feel real, or at least in the context of the game. As I make my way through a door, I emerge in a wooden structure and a notebook sitting on a table with different photos scattered around the shelter. As I collected all the photos, a story was forming about 2 people that were falling in love with each other. It was really sweet, but the book wasn't over yet. As a door opens next to me, I make my way up a hill with a tree on the top of it. The same tree that in the book said that the 2 people proposed to each other at. As I made my way up the hill under the tree, I discovered the last page states that this couple didn't work out and that they buried their rings here, buried the life that they had together, and moved on from each other. It was honestly a highlight of my playthrough because it was just a mystery to me, the ambiguity of it. I wanted to learn more about it, but I think it was best just to leave that up to interpretation. When looking back at that road trip I went on, I definitely didn't appreciate it as much as I should have. If I could redo that trip now, I would be talking to more locals, taking pictures of the land I was traveling, exploring as much as I can. Stuff I was just too shy to do as a kid. This game makes me want to experience that kind of adventure again. Take a trip across the country, hopefully not be in the run with the police, and just enjoy the experience of road tripping again. And that's why that Road 96 is more than just a game to me.